Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Local SEO, 4 Ways You Can Increase Your Rankings. My name is Chris Jorgensen, and I'm the Director of Marketing here at Unleashed Technologies. For those of you who do not know us already, Unleashed Technologies has been dedicated to creating award-winning websites and digital experiences for our clients since 2007. We have a particular focus on open source web technologies, with our primary platforms being Drupal and WordPress. SEO is a topic that is always top of mind for our clients. But what is local SEO and how can you impact your ranking? At this time, I'll be turning things over to Tim Prestianni, Digital Marketing Manager here at Unleashed. Tim is certified in both Google Analytics and Google AdWords and has over 7 years of experience working with organizations to achieve their goals online. Tim, it's all yours.
Thank you, Chris. Good afternoon and welcome. Diving right in, what is local SEO? Local SEO is a specialized type of search engine optimization that helps businesses promote their products and services to local prospects and customers at the exact time they're looking for them. What makes a local search? Local search is any search aimed at finding something in a specific geographical area. For example, if you're looking for a hotel in downtown Baltimore, that would be considered a local search because you put a specific geographical area into your search query. Another example of local SEO is when you would think traditionally about things you will look for in a printed yellow pages. A lot of people are not using yellow pages anymore, and all of these searches are now moving to online. So for instance, if you were looking for a dry cleaner on Stanford Boulevard or a dry cleaner in Columbia, Google is going to take that search query and match you with businesses that are in that local area, and that's where you would fall into those local searches. More and more people are turning to the internet to find information out about local businesses. We have some statistics here brought to us by Search Engine Land and Business to Community. 96% of PC owners conduct local searches, which isn't surprising at all. I'm sure all of you guys are doing the same amount of thing. 46% of all Google searches are local, have that local intent. So some kind of geographical term inside of your search. Or it's one of the searches are like pizza around me. So Google is going to know where you're searching from your IP address and your browser, and be able to bring back results for you in that local area. 64% of all local customers use search engines as directories. So back to the yellow pages example, instead of looking businesses up in the phone book and then making a phone call, now people are just going online and searching through search engines like Google, Bing, or on business directories such as Yelp or Angie's List or Better Business Bureau. 50% of local mobile searches look for business information. What's key about this is it means that they're looking for something that's top of mind. They're looking for something that's going to give them a product or service they're actively needing at that moment. So gone are the days where you would have a restaurant and mail 10,000 menus out, and hopefully somebody that receives that menu is hungry when they may answer the door that day. Now, as soon as somebody gets hungry, or as soon as somebody's looking for a service like a plumber or electrician, they go online, they search, they find your business, they're looking for your company address and your phone number, and they're contacting you. Which leads us into the next part. 78% of local mobile searches often result in an offline purchase. So back to the pizza reference, for instance. You may be hungry and looking for a slice of pizza. So you search for pizza in Nottingham. You find a particular restaurant that you like, and you call them on the phone. So that purchase is handled offline. Or you walk in, or you order delivery. Same thing, again, with like a plumber and electrician, where you would call somebody and schedule an appointment for one of their representatives to stop by your house and complete any kind of work that you need done. So what do local search results look like? Local search results have changed a little bit over the past few years. Now, local search results come up in Google's local 3-pack listing, which we see here. We did a search for website design in Columbia, Maryland. Unleashed Technologies came up top. From this, you can see down at the bottom, there's more places. You could click on that, and it's going to expand that list to maybe 5, 7, 10 other companies in this area that offer that same service. Previously, Google would show between those 5 and 7 businesses all on the top of that page. That has recently changed, and now Google is only putting back the top 3 listings and making you search more in order to get those bottom ones. This makes optimizing for local search even more powerful and even more needy, because we have to be in those top 3 results in order to show on this page. Now, speaking of that, your local search results are going to appear over Google's first organic search result, making it very powerful for both brick and mortar locations and service companies. What's key about this would be, if you do not have a very strong website or well-established website where you would not be able to rank on that first page of Google, this may give you the opportunity to do so through that local search results page. So what are some of the ranking factors that Google is looking for with local SEO? Right here we have a pie chart, and to understand the local ranking factors and how they work, Moz has gathered information over the past few years about local search ranking factors, and we put them together here in a nice orderly pie chart. This gives us a visual idea of what Google is looking for. 20% of that is going to be content on page. This is going to be different keywords and certain terms that you use on your web pages and on your website to let Google know that we are looking for people and that our services are available for people searching in certain areas. We will focus a little bit on this, making sure that our NAT page, our name, address, and phone number page, is set up correctly inside our either contact information or somewhere on our website. 20% of the weight is from linking signals. Linking signals are going to be backlinks that your website would establish from other websites online. By normally generating content through blog posts or service pages and things like that, other websites are going to see that information and link back to it. This isn't something that is going to be very easy for you to control, and we're not going to really talk about it too much today, but it is one of the higher factors. 14% of this weighted factor is the Google My Business page. This means Google really puts a lot of weight on their local pages. This will be one of the key areas of opportunity we will focus on today, on how to optimize the Google My Business page in order to get the maximum you can out of that 14% of that pie. 13% of the weighted goal is citation signals. Citations are listings of your business on directory websites. You would think Angie's List or Yelp, Better Business Bureau, or Bing, that contain your name, address, and phone number. Again, this is something that we can easily improve and something that we will focus on today later on. Next would be user behavior at 9%. Think of user behavior as when somebody clicks on your website, do they stay or do they quickly bounce and leave your website? If they stay, are they looking around? How long are they there? Do they search other places on your website to find more content about what they actually came to your page for? If they stay, that's a good signal, and Google is going to reward you by having positive user experience behavior signals. If they leave right away and never come back, or leave right away and click on somebody else's result, that could negatively affect your SEO for both normal and for local. 8% is going to be reviews. Now, Google places more weight on their own reviews, but third-party reviews also play a part in its ranking factor. Reviews are very helpful, especially for local businesses, because reviews have almost became like that new word-of-mouth source. We will be getting into reviews as well and what they can do to help. 5% is going to be social signals. Now, there is a kind of misconception with social media. People think that if you have likes on your posts or your tweets, that's going to help. Actually, liking posts or tweets has absolutely no ranking factor in any SEO value. What it does allow is for people to find your content and link them directly to your website. So it's going to impact click-through rate to your website, and it's going to make more users and more people see your content, which is going to directly tie into the user behavior that we talked about earlier. So by generating more people to your website, more click-through rates, and having people stay on your site longer, 5% of this pie chart has went to social media. 13% is miscellaneous. There's going to be hundreds of things that have very, very small weight, all bunched together that individually would barely move the needle, and we're not really going to spend a lot of time working on those particular things today. Now, if you're in a super competitive niche, this may be things where we could find a small competitive advantage. But for normal local SEO ranking factors, we're not going to dive into it. How would you check your local SEO ranking? There's a few ways we can do it, but there's some pretty easy ways as well. If you're using the Google Chrome search browser, in the top right-hand corner, as you can see on our picture, there's going to be three little buttons, or three little dots, sorry. You're going to click on that button, and this little window is going to drop down. It's going to say New Incognito Window. You click on that, and you're going to be taken to this black screen at the bottom where it says You've Gone Incognito. What this is going to do is not allow any of your previous searches or any of your normal movements online to factor into how Google shows you results here. When you go to different websites leave cookies and other things on your browser information, so Google knows what you're looking for and what you like. When you enter into this incognito window, they don't rank any of that stuff into how they show you results. So this is going to be true results for what anybody would see when they're first Googling in your area or for your company. There are a few paid tools available that you could use, like Whitespark and Bright Local, and they're very good as well. They will give you the ability to track multiple keywords and different things, but for the sake of this particular course, I'm not really going to go into the paid tools that much. We're going to strictly stick with ways that you can do things, without having to pay for it. Now, the 4 ways we're going to cover today about how to increase your local SEO ratings are your Google My Business page, how to optimize that for performance, your NAT pages on your website, or your name, address, and phone number, building up reviews for your business, and citations creation. Optimizing your Google My Business page. The first thing you're going to want to do is verify your business by either adding it or claiming it. You can just simply look for Google My Business in a search term, and you'll see something there that's going to pop up to say add or claim business. You click on add or claim your business. You would then fill out the information that is asked, and Google is going to send you a postcard in the mail about a week to 2 weeks later. On that postcard, there's going to be a little password, and you place that password into that same business page when you get it, and that will verify your business as being a real business and as being your own. Now, the one thing that I'm going to say here, I'm going to say this multiple times over and over again, is everything must be consistent between all of your pages. And this is going to be down to very minute things that do not really seem important, but they end up being. So when you're filling out your business information, please be sure to keep it exactly the same as the business information will be on your name, address, and phone number page on your website. For example, if you live or your business lives at 123 Brown Street, and on your Google My Business listing, you put STR period, and then on your website, you actually write out street, that is different. They need to be exactly the same. And yes, that makes a difference. So please make sure it's exactly the same. I'm going to say that multiple times, and you're probably going to hate it by the end, but exactly the same. You're going to want to finish your profile completely. On the left-hand side here, you're going to see a bunch of different places that you can go. The first one that we have highlighted in blue is the information page. Inside that information page is where you're going to put all your business's information. It's going to walk you through all the different areas that you're going to need to fill out. There's also going to be a percentage calculator there as well to let you know how much of the page you actually have completed. You want to make sure it's at 100%. So you want to fill out everything that you possibly can about your business. The more information is there, the more information that you give to Google and to other citations later on, the better you're going to rank in search results. You're going to want to make sure that you keep your business active. So Google has a thing called posts, where it's just like leaving a message on Facebook or tweeting. You want to make sure that they know that you're actively inside and using your account. So you're going to want to post to your Google My Business page, just like you would to your Facebook page or to your Twitter or your Instagram accounts. Just add it in as one of those areas that whatever kind of content information you're putting out through social media, it falls in as well. The more and more that happens, the more they're going to know that you take this, the Google My Business page serious. Photos and videos. Now, when you go into your information tab, it's going to ask you to place photos and videos. Please make sure that you do. If you don't have videos, that's okay, but make sure we at least have photos on there. There's going to be a recommended number of photos you should have for each particular part. Please make sure you get that. A lot of people do not optimize this part of their Google My Business page, and it makes a difference not only through search engines, but also through people. People respond a lot better to photos and videos than they do just plain text. So that's good in social media, and it's also great for your Google My Business page. The one thing that I would say is going to be the most important here is that you copy and paste the URL of your Google My Business page before you leave, and just paste it onto like a Word document, onto a notepad, because we're going to want to get back to this particular page later. When you first set up your page, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to find it and get back to it. So in order to avoid that, go ahead and copy and paste the URL of your Google My Business page and put it off to the side. Setting up your NAP page. NAP stands for name, address, and phone number. Here we have Unleashed Technologies contact page. On our contact page, it has our name, address, and phone number, ways to get in contact with us, and you're going to see a map. Everything must match exactly on this page as it does to your Google My Business page. So Unleashed Technologies Google My Business page is there as well. And as you can see, our address matches exactly the address that we have on our contact information. This is very, very important. You're also going to see the map that we have in the background. You're going to want to embed the map from your Google My Business page to your contact page. There's two ways to do this. There's a right way and there's the wrong way. Before we leave today, I'm going to teach you the proper way to embed this map on your business page or on your contact page. That way you get the maximum SEO benefit from it. The URL on your NAP page should be linked to your verified Google My Business page. So if you have a Google My Business page, you're with ABC Plumbing Company, or for instance, Unleashed Technologies, the URL that's associated with your Google My Business page should be Unleashed Technologies /contact, because that is a particular page where this information is living on your website. Now, there are going to be places that tell you to put it to the home page. Do not do that. Make sure that your Google My Business page goes back to the particular NAP page for that business. This is especially helpful if you have multiple locations. Now, down at the bottom, you're going to see that we have another page for Unleashed Technologies. I have some red squares in there. This is going to be how you would properly embed your map onto your contact page. You're going to want to take that URL that I asked you to save earlier, paste that into your searcher, and come to your Google My Business page. Once you're there, you're going to see this little share button on the right-hand corner. You're going to click that. Once you click on that, it's going to bring up the map of your business location. You're going to then want to select for the embed map. And you're going to have a new URL come up, and you're going to copy and paste that HTML into your page, and that's going to be the correct way to embed your map on your website. This is going to give you a little SEO boost, and it's going to create a link from your Google My Business page back to your NAT page, which is very important. The importance of reviews. We're going to be here for a few more moments probably than any other places, just so we can kind of go over this because it's very important. Reviews nowadays are starting to take the place of word of mouth. So if you need to have some service done to your home, or you're looking for a great place to eat, or a bowling alley, or something to do, and let's say you're looking for an electrician and none of your friends have used an electrician before, what are you going to do? You're going to go and look for reviews and see who is the highest rated electrician in my area, because we know we're going to have a good experience by working with them. Reviews are a form of social proof that shows your business traits and how well they treat their customers, and how well in the future they may treat you if you bring them out to have any work done for your home, or if you go to eat at their establishment or anything like that. We're going to want to ask people to leave reviews for our business after we've had interactions with them. So either through them coming into your business or sitting down, ordering or eating, or going back to emailing them later on and ask them how their experience was. On your business, on your Google page, you're going to see that they have a 5-star rating system that light up with yellow stars. 5 is the best, 1's the worst, and they can fall anywhere in between. On your local page pack that pops up, you will see your reviews there, and they will be, your stars will be glowing. In order for you to turn on those reviews, when you first start your page, your reviews are going to be all grayed out. All your stars are going to be gray, and they're not going to show any of your reviews. You have to have between 5 and 8 reviews before your star counter becomes live. I say between 5 and 8 because they change it all the time. So sometimes they want you to have 5, and other times they want you to have up to 8. But you have to have at least between 5 and 8 before your stars light up, and people can start to see the number of reviews you have. As you would think, if those stars are all lit up and you have 5 of them, people are going to associate your business as being a good business, and you're probably going to increase your opportunity to have somebody click on your business. For bad reviews, you're going to get negative reviews no matter how well or how good your business is. I would say wait 24 hours to respond to your business, and remember to always stay professional. People are going to look at how you respond to negative interactions with your business and use them in judging whether or not they want to interact with you as well. So sometimes you can make a negative a positive by interacting correctly and interacting very professionally with your customers, and allowing other people to see how well you actually interact with them. Next thing we want to do is build out a review strategy, an email outreach or feedback cards, something in order to get people to start leaving reviews for you. For instance, with the email outreach, if you're a service company and you're going out and providing services to somebody's home, you're going to get their email information, maybe to set up the appointment for them for your guys to go out and see them. So after that appointment is done, you can then send them an email saying, how do we do? And leave a link to some reviews there, a couple of review sites, so they can go on and leave a review for you. If you are more of a brick and mortar business and you have people walking in and out of your establishment, you can have cards, feedback cards that say, please leave a review for us on Google or on Yelp or on Angie's List or whatever, different citation, directory that you want to be a part of. With that, and I can't stress this enough, please do not fake reviews. You will get caught and you will get hammered by Google for doing it. So if Google sees that there's a bunch of reviews coming in from the same IP address, they're going to know that they're fake, and you're going to be negatively impacted for it. The same thing if you have a bunch of reviews coming from places where you don't service. They're also going to know that these are fake reviews, and you're going to be negatively impacted for it. The best thing to do is build up those reviews over time, make sure they're real reviews, and that's the best way to always handle them. For different niche industries, you can do a quick search around in your industry and try to find review sites at the top. So put your keyword in and see which review places come up. So Yelp is probably going to be your #1 places for restaurants, or TripAdvisor or something like that. Those are places you're going to want to think about placing citations as well about your business, so you're easily able to be found on those directories. And that's something we will talk about a little bit later. And you can also have reviews for those third-party sites. Speaking of third-party sites, we have a few of them listed here: Angie's List, Yelp, Better Business Bureau, and HotFrog. They're very reputable. They're going to allow you to have reviews left on your website. Google is going to be looking at these reviews as well while they're weighting their reviews, and that's also going to help you increase not only your performance in search engines, but as other people search for different search terms and come across your business on these different directories, you're also going to see that you have good reviews there as well, which helps you just through word of mouth and by having good reviews. Now, creating and managing quality citations. The first thing you're going to want to do is check for your citations for accuracy. An easy way to do this will be using Moz Local. You go ahead and put your business name and your zip code into the Moz Local search bar, and it's going to bring up a result that looks like this. With this result, we can see that 100% for this particular client, Google My Business page has been filled out, and it is correct. As well, we can take a look and see a bunch of other direct network areas where they are lacking. They may be incomplete or duplicate information located inside of these. And these are things you're going to want to go through and you're going to want to fix and make accurate. So by using a tool like the Moz Local, you can go in and find all the inaccuracies with your business, and it will also give you suggestions and opportunities to increase and make sure that you have completed 100% of the things that are asked for on those particular websites. Once again, those inaccuracies that can come back and bite you are going to be very simple things like not writing out street on your website and writing it out on your Google My Business, or a different phone number. Maybe you have 2 phone numbers that people can contact for customer service. We're going to want to pick one phone number and use that everywhere at the same place. You're going to want everything to be exactly the same no matter where you go. Make sure with all these other citations that you're, again, completely filling out your full profiles. You're adding video, you're adding pictures, you're filling out every piece of information that they allow you to place there. Once you have cleaned up your citations, you're going to want to start to add new ones. What I would suggest would be to create a spreadsheet in Excel and start to track where you're placing your new citations. It may take a few days or a week or so before some of these become live, and you're going to want to track this. You're not adding, multiple, you're not adding your business multiple times to one directory where you're going to have to go back and fix that later because it's going to give you a duplicate content issue. Now, only build citations to good quality sites. We have a few of them listed here. Going back to Moz Local, they have a listing of well-respected directories that you can start to work off of, and they even give you different niches that would be good to have these directories for. Those are pretty safe places to go ahead and start placing your citations and building them up. You probably want to start with about 20 citations with good quality directories, and that should help you increase some of your rankings there in your local. Now we have a bonus tip: geotagging. For different images that are going to appear throughout your website or also on your name address page, you want to make sure that all of your photos have completed tag. So your title tag. Put your geographical information in your title tag. So if this is going to be for a lawn industry, so grass cutter in Parkville, Maryland. That should be in the title of your photo. On your alt tag, it should also have that geographical modifier in there as well. An alt tag is going to be what search engines use to find out what that picture is if they cannot render the picture themselves and look at it. Now for your geotag, I recommend using Pixel. It's very easy to use. It's free to download, and you just put it right onto your computer. It's going to take all the photos on your computer and put it into one big library. You would go ahead and you would double click on the photo you would like to add the tag to. Down in the right hand corner, you're going to see this little map icon pop up, which we have the box and the arrow on here. You're going to click on that. Once you click on that, a little search box will appear, and you will put in the address of your business. You want to make sure, again, that it's the same information that you use for your NAT page, your name, address, phone number page. So the same address you use there, you're going to want to use here. Then you go ahead and you click Save, and you'll see a little red icon will appear on the photos that you have inside that have all been geotagged. And you can take and place those onto your website, and you'll have that geotag information on all your photos. And from there, we will go to any questions.
All right, thanks, Tim. So it looks like we have a few questions waiting here for you. The first question comes from Laura, and she asked, when should I look at using paid tools like Bright Local?
Sure. When you should start using paid tools would be when you have multiple keyword sets or multiple geographical areas that you want to track. So basically, it's to become a time saver for you. It's also going to give you the history of your movement throughout those particular search terms as well. So what I would say is start looking into using something like a Bright Local when you're starting to look for search terms for 10, 15, 20 different search queries. That way to make it a lot easier and a lot more time saving than to go and look each one of these up individually and then place them onto like an Excel file.
Excellent, thanks, Tim. Next question we have comes from Scott, and he says, what is an example of a bad citation site versus a good?
Sure, a bad citation site would be something with a low barrier of entry. So kind of think of if you go onto Yelp, for instance, and you place in all your contact information, your name, address, phone number, and you still have to verify that your business is real. So any place that doesn't make you verify that your business is real in some way, shape, or form, whether by using an email address with your domain name attached to the back of it, or by having them physically send the postcard to your business address and having you activate your site that way, could be looked at as a questionable citation. Any place that's just going to allow you to go in and add all your information and not ask you to verify anything, would be something that I would, make some antennas pop up in your head you may not want to be a part of. Another way you can kind of tell if it's potentially a bad site would be if they're asking you to spend money to be a part of it. So if they're saying, hey, here's your citation. If you give me $15, I'll have it up today. If not, then it's going to come up a month from now. Maybe another place that may be something that makes you say, hey, I want to take a look at this and go back and see if we can find there's some trust flow, which you can use through like Moz and stuff like that to find out how trusting certain websites are.
Great, thanks, Tim. Our next question comes from John, and he says, for franchises, what is the most important thing I can do to rank highly in my geographic area?
Sure. For something like that, it's going to be a little bit more intricate, but something that you can do on your own is what we were talking about today with the Google My Business pages. Now, what you will want to do in your instance would be to set up a different Google My Business page for every physical address that you have. So for every location that you have, you're going to want to set up a Google My Business page for them. And then on your website, going back to that name, address, and phone number, then that page, you're going to want to have in your navigation bar a locations tab. When you click on that locations tab, that drop-down menu should have your Baltimore location or your Columbia location, your Glen Burnie location. When people click on that Baltimore location, it's going to take you to that name and address page, name, address, phone number page for the Baltimore location. Each location should have its own Google My Business page that links back to that particular URL. So for instance, if it's ABC Plumbing /contact us /Baltimore, that should be attached to your Baltimore Google My Business page, and that URL should be attached back to that particular contact page, and so forth for the rest of them. So for your Lithicum location, that URL needs to match up. Do not put your URLs back to your home page. Make sure it goes back to the specific created page for that particular location. Outside of that, there are a lot of different things that we could do search engine optimization wise, which would involve keywords and then adding different pages and building your website out in particular ways in order to help rank for specific search terms locally. But that would be something that you would probably need to have a professional or somebody like, us here at Unleashed take care of for you.
Great. And then Tim, our next question comes from Paul. It says, when dealing with negative reviews, do you recommend offering facts to combat it, or just trying to get it to an offline conversation?
I would say the biggest thing would be to stay professional. One of the things that I learned is if you say you want to write you're mad, you want to write an email, you're mad. You write the whole email out, and then you wait. You wait like a couple of hours, and you go back to the email and see if it still makes sense. See if you still want to send that, because when you're upset, sometimes you may say some things that you don't want to say. And the same thing here. Let's go back to that 24-hour rule. When somebody leaves a bad review about your business or yourself, you're going to be a little upset about it. This is your business, and you believe that you offer a great product or service, and these people, maybe sometimes through no fault of your own, are not very happy with the way that their service was. So wait 24 hours. Then what I would do is write back to them and try to take that conversation offline. So say, hey, I'm sorry for, sorry about how you felt you were treated, or whatever the issue may be. Please reach out to us, and we can continue this conversation and see if we can get it resolved for you. Leave like an email address or a phone number for them to contact you, and take that string offline. The last thing you want is for to go online and start defending yourself, and then this person writing back, and you guys are going back and forth. It just looks unprofessional. It makes other people who come across this particular string of a conversation back and forth kind of turned off, and you don't know what this person is going to say back. So just try to get that conversation offline and try to resolve it that way. That would probably be the best way to do it. And just remember to always stay professional.
Tim, our next question comes from Lisa, and she says, in terms of alternative search engines besides Google, like Bing, do you recommend investing a lot of time in building out on those?
Sure. I would say what we would first want to do when you're set up and you're making these citations, and you're doing a lot of these other ranking factors, you're going to start gaining local rankings on those other search engines as well. The main reason why I focus on Google first is because a majority of all the searches are done through Google. So 70–80% of searches are all through Google. So I would focus on that first, and then start working to your smaller search engines like Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo, different things like that. And once you start seeing movement on your Google search results, you'll also start to see them correlate with your Yahoos and your Bings and your other search engines too.
Thank you. Brian asks, in terms of video content on YouTube, what should we be doing to optimize that for local SEO, or can they?
Sure. Yes, you can. You can actually link your YouTube page to your Google My Business page, because it's all inside like the same Google My Business area. So you can start optimizing your videos through title tags, keywords in your title tags, different things that you say throughout your video. And also there's going to be little tags at the bottom of your YouTube video display when you're in the management part and you're putting it in, where you can add certain keyword triggers there. Another pretty neat way to increase some visibility on YouTube would be to have somebody or yourself go through and write out, everything that's being said, and you can have those captions at the bottom of the screen, and those captions are also picked up by Google and used and help for ranking.
All right, thanks, Tim. So that actually looks like all the questions we have right now. If you have any additional questions that you wanted to ask after the webinar, the best way to contact Tim and our team here at Unleashed Technologies is by reaching out via email to start@unleashed-technologies.com, start@unleashed-technologies.com, and we'll be happy to answer any other additional SEO and marketing questions you might have. Well, on behalf of Tim and our entire team here today at Unleashed Technologies, we want to thank you for spending some of your afternoon with us and hope to see you again at one of our future webinars.
Thank you.